Hi everyone, the Klaus here, and today guys I'm going to review a new Hero Factory combiner model released in the first wave of 2012 called Breakout, and today is going to be the combiner model between Black Phantom and Waka. So well, let's begin with first the body frame. So we're going to use the body frame of Black Phantom right there, so the longest one. We're going to add 3 other bond parts right there to link those ball joints with this ones right there. And as you can see, we're going also to use this H-shaped part right there, which will be useful to link another body later on to have more ball joints to play with, because this ball joint will be used mostly to link legs. So here are the front legs, which are made with 2 bonds. You can see we're going to use this new type of bonds, which adds some tightness to the articulation. As you can see, 2 wide armors used right there, and a circular shaped armor used here. This part is going to be linked like that, and we're going to do that on both sides. Then we're going to link this intermediate legs right there, so they will be made with a long bonds and then 2 smaller ones. You can see 2 pieces of armor, and for the well, not really foot, excuse me, we're going to use this hero's head in new transparent green. Like that. Then this part is not finished because we're going first to link the tail. So it will be made with, once again, some bones, some long pieces of armor, some quasar spikes, and finally the big spiky ball, which is linked on a connector. So it's not really that good looking. And this will be linked, of course, on this ball joint right here. Okay, of course it doesn't really, it cannot fall off because we do not have linked the rear legs yet. And we're going to link them on another body frame, which is going to be this one. As you can see on the front, we're going to link these 2 pieces of armor, so kind of like Black Phantom, and on the back, a smaller piece of armor plus another rounded shaped one. We're going to link that here, like that. Then I'm going to use these ball joints to link the remaining legs, which look like that. So 2 dark red bonds and some pieces of armor. So yeah, nothing really to brag about. It's quite simple to understand. It will be linked this way, like that. Now we're going to use these 2 ball joints to link some other parts, which are not really legs, if I can say so. They are more like, I guess, well, some parts. So some bones, connector, or decal neck to link this new armor parts, and on the other axle hole of the connector, we're going to link this spike and this piece of shield right there. And also notice that on the second axle hole of the Ordica neck, we're going to link this hose pipe. And so this thing will be linked, I think it is here. I'm not really sure how to put this part, but it's not really a big problem. I'm going to link this part like that. And this leg here. So, oh, excuse me guys. I'm going to link the second one, and then we just have to link the head, and the combiner model will be finished. And the head will be made in 2 parts, which will be linked on these 2 ball joints. So first we have the jaw, if I can say so, which is linked on a bone, armor, and connectors with 2 parts, which of course can be moved because they are just linked with 1 piece of connection, 1 point of connection, excuse me. Okay, now the upper part of the head, which is a bone. Then we have 2 connectors linked together with the head linked on the on the top of this axle of 3 right there. The head is of course the Soundwax head in silver with 3 little claws linked here, here and there. And on the front you of course in the connector have the Tornax launcher and some other parts with the silver spikes. And this will be linked right there. Now we just have to link this part, and here we go. We are done with the model. So I'm not sure I can show you everything of the model with this shot, so I'm going to just move my webcam like that. And I'm going to try to make a turnaround, but yeah, it's going to be quite hard with this white background and the fact that I have to hold the webcam myself. Oh, yeah, it looks pretty good in fact. Well, my turnaround, by the way, not really the combo model, because the combo model doesn't really look that good, but that's my opinion, and we're going to talk about that later on. But for now, it's time to talk about the articulations. So yeah, let's begin with first the legs on the front. So you have 2 points of articulation. One is a free ball joint, one can just be rotated up and down, so it's pretty good if you can, as you can see, it's nothing really wrong with that. Then we have the intermediate legs, which got 1, 2, 3 points of connection, 1 point of rotation, so it can just be turned up and down, as you can see. So you can really do, for example, this type of stuff. Works quite great, and of course this part right there is mounted on a free ball joint, which moves quite nicely. Then we have, once again, 1 free ball joint and 1 point of rotation for the rear legs. So once again, nothing really to brag about, it works quite well. But that's really the problem. You will see later on what is the problem with that many articulations. Then we have the tail, which is mounted on 2 points of rotation, so 1 and 2, and then 1, 2, and yes, just 2 in fact, 3 points of rotation, which can be good. So on the side, as you can see, and not just up and down. We then have this part, which got 1, 2 points of rotation, plus a third one right there, which can just be turned up and down, unlike these 2 ones, which can be turned all the way you want, in every way you want. So, quite hard to talk about articulation with all the legs going on right there. So, excuse me guys. There we go. Finally, we have the head, which is mounted first the jaw on 2 ball joints, which can be moved up and down and on the sides. And the same goes for the head, which can also be moved up and down on the sides without any big problems. Plus, the Soundwax launcher can fire without any problems. And so now it's time to do a little sum up about this Combier model, which is the final Combier model of this wave, and also my last review for this new Hero Factory wave. So, what's to think about it? So first, the color scheme, well, it's okay for the red and black, but the other colors kind of look like a little out of place. It's really a big mess of colors, if you want my opinion, because, well, you of course have the red, the black, and then you have some type of transparent greens and another type of transparent green, dark metal, silver, gold, another type of trans green right there. So yeah, you really have tons of colors, which really doesn't help to unify the model together. So yeah, the color scheme is quite a mess, too many colors used, and not appropriately, if you want my opinion. Then you have the construction, if I can say so, which is not really that good because most of the construction is about legs. The body frame itself is not that interesting because we are just going to link 2 bodies, we're just going to stack 2 bodies together, so we are still see nothing really interesting here. So yeah, overall it's not that good. Then you have the articulations, which works, well, quite fine if you take them independently, but when you take them when you take all of them together, you will have once again a big mess because it's quite hard to make a pose with all these 6 legs to make it work and to make it look good. So yeah, overall, even if it has many articulation, that doesn't mean that it's easy to articulate him or really good to look at, seriously. But at least you can move it the way you want, even if it's really hard and not that interesting. And finally, you have the overall design, and once again, there is really nothing to talk about because this is mostly legs, well, 6 legs put together. Then you have a big head which looks a little weird with many parts going on everywhere. The same can be said for this part with some shields, some hose pipes, some spikes right there. So yeah, seriously, the same goes for the tail with its ugly boulder, spiky boulder cut in half, for example. So yeah, overall, this is really not a good commander model because it is not really good looking, if you want my opinion. And that's all, guys. It's not interesting to look at. It's not interesting to move. It's not interesting to build. So yeah, overall, it's once again another uninteresting common model, really bland and really seriously nothing really interesting, at least in my opinion. So yeah, quite bland. You can pass on it easily if you want my opinion. And that's it. Well, I think that's all for this review, guys. And that's also all for my Hero Factory 2012 Breakout first wave of the year reviews. So well, I hope you enjoy all of them. If you have any questions or comments about this wave or this common model in particular, feel free to ask them. I will happily answer them. And that said, well, thank you for watching. Have a nice day and see you later for another video review. Bye bye.